What is going on, everyone? This week I'm going to be setting up in Lansing, Michigan. It's going to be my first time setting up at this show. I know I've made a few videos there in the past, kind of walking around as a buyer, but I wanted to try it out as a dealer, so I'm going to be setting up there. I have a table, and I'll show you guys some of the stuff and kind of show you guys how that goes. Here's a little preview of the table. It's just the one display case. I'll have another one out there, but got some pretty cool stuff, some nice rookies. Got a Campy, Bob Gibson, Evers, Aparicio in a 7, Nolan. So case looks pretty good. This is obviously going to be the better stuff that I have, and then I'll have another case, and I have some books that I'm also going to lay out here. Like a 65 Topps. This is a complete set that I bought last weekend. And there's some more books over here, some starter sets. Got a 53 Topps and a 59. There's a couple stars in here. So all this is going to be set out on Saturday. And I got a little bit of football here. It's just going to be its own little section. I believe it's a little bit over 100 tables, so I'll get some videos of that. And hope you guys enjoy. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure it'll be a great time, so let's see how we do. Now this show, compared to the shows I usually set up at, seemed like people were really coming to buy at this show. There was a lot of money moving around, and there was way more tables than there had ever been previously. They keep adding on tables basically every month when I go. Here's some of the other tables at the show. Had a good mix of modern and vintage stuff. Everything from dollar cards up to $1,000 cards, and as you can see, the traffic was packed. This was the busiest I've ever saw it. I know I said that last time in this show, but it keeps getting busier every single month, so that's really exciting to see. I'll let you guys take a look at some of the other tables that were there. But overall, it was a really good show. I sold about $750 worth, which is pretty good. That's better than I usually do setting up. Overall, with the show, I was very pleased. I liked to see the foot traffic that there was. I bought some good stuff. I sold some good stuff, so no complaints over here. Here's a sneak peek of the one purchase I did make at the show. Got some good items, including at least one big purchase. So I'm going to show you guys that here in a second. Now I set up there to sell some things, but I always have to keep buying, so I managed to buy some things. We'll go through those at the end of the video. I did sell some pretty cool things though. I sold a 64 mantle, I sold a 68 mantle, and then some other smaller items like some football cards, some raw singles, stuff like that. Now I only made one purchase, but the one purchase was all that it took. I didn't have too much cash going into the show, so I basically wiped out all the cash I had for the day as soon as I saw this table because it was all the stuff I was looking for. We'll start it off with a good one. We got this 61 Aaron PSA 7. Any Aaron in a 7, Mantle, Mays, Aaron, any of those guys in a 7, it's like liquid gold. Second up, we got a 57 Clemente. This one's a 3, although a nice looking 3 at that. Nice 3rd year Clemente. It's my first time having one of these, actually. I've always thought that was a pretty cool looking card. I was going for big names only, and I don't think you can really get any bigger names than this whole pile that I got. We already got Clemente and Aaron. Why not throw Mays in there? 62 and a 5. This one's actually really well centered too. Everyone knows how difficult the edges, corners are, but this one actually holds up well. Fresh label 5 also. I'm definitely a firm believer in the new labels like these. I think they do actually grade much tougher now than they used to. And you can kind of see it in the values of some of the cards at recent auctions, stuff like that. Next up is another Maze though. This is 64 Maze. Not a bad looking card, I'd say. And again, looks pretty sharp for a 4. And another one, we had 2 Maze, now we have 2 Aarons. 59 All-Star. These ones are actually pretty tough. They're in the high number series. But this one's still in really good condition. PSA 6. Not perfectly centered, but that's about all that's wrong with it. The corners are really sharp. And now for the biggest one of them all. The reason you had to immediately stop at that table and make the purchase. 1953 Topps. Mickey Mantle. 1.5, but you would never guess it. Look how sweet this card presents. Centering is really good left to right. Beautiful looking card. No clue how this is 1.5, honestly. Really thought it deserved at least a 2. My first 53 mantle that I've ever had, and it's such a good one to start out with. Now let's stand him up here. He deserves his own stand right front and center. There we go. Look at that. Wow. I'll go through some of the recent mail stuff too, like I said. Starting it off, we got the Campy rookie. 3MK. All is the mark is just this little C here. Probably someone just labeling him catcher, I would assume. So I don't really mind the mark that bad. I'm sure someone will love this card. Next up, got the Banks second year, 55. Got this one on Facebook also. I don't know if I mentioned it, but that's where I got the Campy also. So I got the Banks and the Campy. Another one from Facebook. Basically where all these are, I believe. Yeah, all 5 of these were from Facebook. Got the Bill Dickey in a 3. Once you get above a 2 with Gaudi's, the price just skyrockets. Like a 3 is usually like twice as much as a 2. It gets pretty crazy once you get to that kind of collector grade and higher. Got a 56 Jackie Robinson. This is an older SGC label, but I think it's still pretty deserving of the grade, 2.5. All of these bigger cards, the 56 and back, people love those cards, and I honestly prefer them to the smaller cards. 56 especially, I just think has some of the best artwork and just the biggest combination of all the great players that you want. So I'll set Jackie up, and then we got one more in the mail also, a Gibby rookie, one of my favorite players, Bob Gibson, SGC 3, another one from Facebook. Yeah, and this wasn't a bad week's mail day at all. Also been working on rearranging the card room this week, so I'll show you guys a little updated video of the card room. If you guys been watching for a while, you definitely remember these shelves as the background of the videos. So I'll go through those. I kind of changed that into a display. Got all my shipping stuff, penny sleeves, semi-rigids and all that. Bubble wrap. I just spent some time doing this. I think it looks pretty sick, so check it out. Some 49 Bowmans. Some Hall of Fame rookies. What else we got? Some reprint autographs as well. I really like this one too. This is the 1990s. Maybe if you had this in the 90s, you'd be the king. He's been working on that set for a little bit. He just needs a couple more of the Hall of Famers, needs another Cobb, and then a bunch of the commons also. And this one here, the best one of them all, the Mantle Shrine is what I like to call it. Got these two 53s and the 51 Bowman that I showed in one of my earlier videos. This shelf looks so sick, especially when you put some nice lighting on it. Look at how all those pop. That's so cool. And the new 1.5 just goes perfect in there. The authentic one is for my dad's 53 set, and then we share this 51 Bowman that we found at a show earlier back. Unfortunately, he's probably gonna have to go at some point, but for now, we're just gonna enjoy him, leave him in the shelf here until he sells, and just, wow.